So how can we be present to this moment? One of the simplest ways of being present is simply just being aware of your five senses, the sense perceptions, right? So it doesn't matter where you are. You can be aware of your five senses. Let's talk about some practical examples. Let's say you're walking. Well, you can be aware of your touch, your feeling, your body sensation of the feeling of the ground. How does the ground feel on your feet? How do the sensations in your body, your ankles moving, your knees, your hips, the muscles contracting and relaxing as they propel you forward, the swinging of the arms, the rotation of your spine? See, that all has to do with touching and feeling, right? At the same time, like that could be one. At the same time, let's say you're still outside walking. You've got the sensation of your hearing, right? What are you hearing? Can you hear birds? Can you hear traffic? Can you hear dogs barking? Can you hear the breeze? Right? So you've got hearing, right? Perhaps you're eating. Again, the touch. How does the food feel in your mouth? The texture, if you're cutting through food, the amount of pressure that's needed to cut through something or put your fork into something, or you're using your hands, the feeling in your mouth, the texture of the food as it's crumbling, as it's breaking down, as you're biting it, the pressure, where is all the chewing happening? Is it happening on one side of your mouth or balanced? What teeth are you using? Are you using the front teeth? Are you using your back teeth? Does it shift? Right? Drinking, the swishing around, the fluid going into your mouth, the feeling as it goes down your throat. If it's warm, as it warms your belly. Right? This is all just feeling. But how aware are you of those feelings? Because that is a very simple way to be present. The smell of your food, right? Remember the five senses, right? So you're just simply being aware of those five senses. Right? You're getting all this sensory feedback, this sensory input, and you're simply just being aware. Being aware. So we got tasting. How does the food taste? Is it salty? Is it sweet? Is it spicy? Right? All the different flavors. Right? Being aware of that. So as you can see, might as well not talk about all of them, but it's simple. It's simple. It's simple, but it's difficult for most people because we're very much addicted to thinking, and we're very much in a rush to get to the next moment, to get into the future. That's where I want to go, is the future. This present moment, come on. It's a means to an end. I want to get there, right? But if we're always doing that, then we never live life, because life is lived in the present moment. Life isn't lived in the future, right? So we miss life completely when we're not present. If you're not present, then you're absent. What are you absent to? Well, you're absent to life, because life happens in the present moment. So it's a simple practice, and it can be done anywhere, wherever you're at. And you can remind yourself, perhaps 2 minutes, build it up to 5 minutes, but it's these simple practices. Could be a practice where you just make a point. Let me just go for a walk to check the mail, or let me go for a walk in the forest, or let me go whatever it is, or let me have a meal where I'm not trying to watch something on the computer and eat. Because what pulls you away from those senses is when you're distracted. See, walking, everyone's walking, right? You're walking all the time. But most people are walking with their phone, and they're texting, and they're trying to text, right? So you're not feeling the ground. You're not feeling the whole locomotion of your body as you're walking when you're texting, because your attention is not on the 5 senses, but instead it's now on the what are you doing? And the present moment is all about being. So we shift from our attention from the doing to the being, really. To just simply be with the 5 senses, be with your food as you're eating it, instead of trying to eat and then do something else at the same time. Right? So it could be these simple practices where, again, you just have a meal and you make a point that this meal or this drink, that's what you're going to focus on is the feeling of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, right? To even make it even more focused or easier for you to do, you could even close your eyes. You can close your eyes and really just focus on the taste of it, right? You can kind of make it a game. You go for a walk, and how many sounds can you be aware of, right? The trees, with the breeze blowing through them, birds, leaves as you're walking and they're crumbling under your feet, right? Different noises, other people possibly walking in the background or ahead, right? Squirrels going through the leaves. Whatever's happening, there's tons of action happening in a forest, right? It's so immersive. That's why it's so easy to feel very natural, right? You feel natural in nature. It's so immersive. So you're getting so much information through the 5 senses, right? But how aware are you? So we do this by becoming aware of our 5 senses. And the practice is simply being aware without commentating, judging, creating stories, labeling, any of that type of stuff, because that would be then thinking. Because what you'll notice is when you put your attention on the 5 senses, that your thinking drastically drops, which then you start noticing, this is peaceful. There's no problems. There's only problems when I'm thinking. This is enjoyable. Right? There's a fullness that you can feel. This contentment for no reason. This fulfillment for no reason. Because everything's in the present moment. See, it's always unfulfilling when you're not in the present moment. You're lost in the future, trying to get somewhere. Everything is here in this present moment. But if you're not present to it, then you're absent to it. You're not experiencing that aliveness that the present moment has, that fullness that the present moment has, that power that the present moment has, that contentment, that peace, the love, the happy, everything that you're looking for is found in this present moment, right? So that's the practice, is simply just being aware of those five senses, right? And you don't need to, if you're new to this, you don't need to try and be aware of all five at the exact same time. Have fun with it. Make it into a practice. Don't take it serious. And like I said, maybe you just go for a 5-minute walk, or you go and get the mail, and you just kind of almost like an objective. Let me walk to get the mail, but let me really try and feel the pressure on my feet. Let me be aware of the pressure of the ground as I walk the entire way to the mailbox, right? That's one game that you can play. On the way back from the mailbox, let me be aware of the sounds. It's just simply you're continuing to walk, and you're simply just being aware of the sounds. Awesome. What you'll notice is that walk to the mailbox and that walk from the mailbox is going to be the most peaceful walk that you've ever had. If you're fully aware, because if your attention is on those, let's say your hearing or the feeling of the body sensations as you're walking, there's going to be very little thoughts, right? Because it's like you're pulling your attention off of, let's call it thinking, and here dreaming, and you're just gently guiding your attention back to your five senses. And your five senses, they work in the present moment. It's like it's a portal to the present moment. It's like an anchor in the present moment. So you're just guiding your attention from La La Land, from the dream world, which is thinking. You're just guiding your attention back to the present moment, right? You're just guiding your attention back, put it on the sensations of the body. Guiding your attention back, put it on what you're hearing. Guiding the attention back, putting on what you're tasting, right? And it's that simple, but very effective. And simply as you're aware of your sense perceptions, you'll notice that, wow, there's no problem. This is peaceful. And this can, until a thought comes and starts creating a story. And it tends to pull you away. It tends to kind of pull that attention back over here. Oh yeah, this is my favorite time of year. Yeah. Oh, but you know what? I got so much preparation to do before the winter. And yeah, see, and it pulls you away. You're just walking, feeling the leaves crunch on your on the ground as you're walking in the fall, and then it's creating a whole story. This is nice, and then it starts creating a story of a problem. I have so much work to do to prepare for the winter and get the garden all prepared and bringing all the whatever it is, the summer stuff back into the shed and preparing for the cold weather. And there's so much. I'm so stressed now. Let me just start creating a to-do list, right, in my head as I'm walking in nature. So you see, you're practicing, because this takes a lot of practice, right? We go to school and learn how to basically achieve stuff and create goals and to-do lists and always try and strive into the future, right? Looking for something that doesn't really exist, because that happiness is actually in the present moment. So everything that you're looking for is here. But what it takes practice is guiding our attention back to the present moment. You'll find that your attention wanders. And what you'll find is these thoughts, they're so sly, they're sneaky, because it kind of it starts off as, like I said, just like a comment. Oh, this is beautiful. But even right there, that's too much. You might be just saying, you might just be just this your sensor of eyesight. You're looking at all the beautiful fall colors, right? This is so beautiful. Right there, you're not in the present moment. Right there, as soon as you start commenting on it, right? Because you enjoy it when you're taking it in, where it's like, people say this, like, so beautiful. I have no words. It's because you're fully immersed in the present moment. Because when you're actually in the present moment, yeah, you're kind of awe. You'll know that you're really in the present moment when you feel like a kid, like a really young kid, like a newborn. Just awe, wonderment. And you don't want to talk. But what happens is, when this is kind of a new practice, right, getting kind of new to being present, is that kind of voice in your head starts up. This is so beautiful. Yeah. Reminds me of last year when we had a campfire and we did some fall camping, and it was so beautiful just like this. And oh, if I could just go back. See? It's instead of pulling you into the future, it's pulling you back into the past, right? Past and future. So these thoughts, you have to just be careful. They pull your attention back into your memory or back into your imagination, back into the past, back into the the future. So you have to watch for it, because it comes as such just an innocent thought, right? Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. Reminds me of, right there, you're gone. You're gone. You're not in the present moment anymore, right? So it's staying with it. Just the practice is just, it's being aware of what you're seeing without the need to label things. That's a red tree. Those are orange leaves. I love the yellow. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. It's like watching a movie and you're commentating through the entire movie. You don't need to do that. You ruin the movie when you do that. Or if you have a friend that does that, they ruin the movie for you. Same way is you're ruining the moment when you start commentating about it. It doesn't need a commentator. It doesn't need anyone to interpret it. Just take it in. Just take it in. Take in the taste of the food. Take in the smell. Take in the sight. Take in the touching, the feeling. All your five senses, right? You're simply just putting your attention on them, and then you're just being with it. You're just being with the colors. You're being with the beauty. You're just taking in the beauty with no filter. You take the beauty in, right? But don't add the filter, the commentating, because then you're not actually seeing that beauty. You're seeing your projection of it. You start distorting it. You start projecting on the present moment. Present moment is it just is. And then we start, boom, putting a big story on it. I want to say what's wrong with it, what's right with it, what we like about it. Started creating a story, judging it, whatever it is. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, it's very simple and very effective. There's really no excuse not to practice it, right? Because like I said, is if you're not present, you're absent. And what happens in this present moment? Life happens. And if you're not here in the present moment while life is happening, you can't really say that you're living. You're dreaming. You're dreaming. You're thinking about life instead of living life. And being aware of our five senses is a really effective way to just drop into the present moment and start living. And when you're living life, well, that's the only way to enjoy life. And that's what's going to happen when you're more and more present, is you simply start enjoying life more. Hope this helps. See you in the next one.